All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to MaxSpeedTV here, the 10:30 late night broadcast, as we like to call it, after hours. This is practice here for another 19 minutes for the Northwest Truck Series presented by Walls Beard Co. This is the second race in the round one of the chase, and this is the MSTV 165. So to get into all the details, before we get into all the racing stuff, we do want to thank all the partners, of course, here on board for this race, starting with MaxSpeedTV, WallsBeardCo.com. Make sure you check these guys out for all of their beard products. Some great stuff, beard products for you guys out there. You're going to need them if you have a beard. It'll make it nice and healthy. SimSpeedShop.com for all you iRacers out there. If you need a button box that customizes to you, or an e-brake for you rallycross racers out there, make sure you check them out at SimSpeedShop.com. Of course, Northwest Racing Series just came on board here. They are the official One to Go sponsor. They sponsor that, so every One Lap to Go is brought to you by Northwest Racing Series. Elite7Racing.com, they are the official dirt team of MaxSpeedTV, so make sure you check them out at Elite7Racing.com for all the latest racing details there. Ohio IndyCar League, again, you can check out all the latest information at Facebook.com/Ohio IndyCar League. They are no longer just taking Ohio club members, so check them out if you are an IndyCar racer and want to get into some great racing. Also broadcasted here on MaxSpeedTV. iBog, iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. They are your sim race broadcast graphics source. Check them out at ibog.co and let Jason Allison know you heard about it here on MaxSpeedTV. Again, if you're looking to get into broadcasting or just looking for some graphics for your streaming, he can take care of you there, so make sure you check him out. And of course, coming on today, that is the Hershey Design Company. Again, just awesome work they do. You can check them out on Facebook. We will be getting more details on that here. Little Birdie told me they are going to be sponsoring a actual race car. We're going to see that logo on there, and we'll get you more information on that here in just a minute when we talk to KR. But that'll do it for the sponsors here for MaxSpeedTV. Of course, as always, on the racing side of things, Walls Beard Co. Is the presenting sponsor for this particular series. So again, make sure you check them out at WallsBeardCo.com for all of their great beard products. Highway Equipment Company. You can go to HighwayEquipment.com to check it out. They have two divisions. One of those, as you can see on the screen right there, is New Leader, and the other being Highway. So again, check both of those great companies out at HighwayEquipment.com. That being said here, it is time to introduce our second chair, as always. That is KR Stolfus. So KR, welcome to the booth, and here we are in Chase Race number 2.
Chase race number 2 is here at Kansas Speedway, my home NASCAR track. It's only about a half-hour drive away from where I live to get to Kansas Speedway. In fact, I just got tickets to be there Saturday night.
Well, there you go. They will be racing there Saturday night. Going to be some great racing. As always there, Kansas does produce some great racing. And I'm looking forward to seeing that racing here as well. And speaking of that, we will pull up our pre-race analyst. Partly cloudy, 2-mile-per-hour wind out of the north. Track temp and air temp both 78 degrees, so a very cool night here for some racing.
It is a cool night. A lot of grip here at Kansas Speedway, and for the trucks, that's going to mean these guys are really going to be having the hammer down for a lot of these laps. So you're going to really need to have a great setup underneath this truck tonight, because you are really going to be ripping some lap times.
Are indeed 110 laps here tonight. 165 miles is what they have on the books. And keep in mind, pit road 50 miles an hour. We did take a look here, and we talked to some of these drivers early in the race. Fuel window roughly somewhere 45 to 50 laps. However, tires 5 to 10 laps before they're going to want some new tires. So that is a huge gap in there of anywhere from 40 to 45 lap difference on tires versus fuel. So this could come down to a strategy game, and I think it's going to be a tire strategy versus fuel. But somebody that could possibly make these tires last and hang out there if they don't lose a whole lot of time could make this a fuel strategy and win this race.
They could. Gambling on a fuel run is always just that, a gamble. But the way that these tires fall off, the way that these trucks are going to be trying to really rip laps off while they have some good meat on them, I bet we're going to see some cautions here as the tires really start to give up, and we're going to see a lot of cars getting in trouble coming out of turn number 2.
We are indeed, as we pulled up our practice times right now. Right now, Mark Walls in the 29 is the fastest time out here with a 30.453. Chris White right behind him with a 30.471. And we wanted to bring that up just for a moment as we're going to take it away there because we wanted to bring up your point standings here tonight. This is really interesting the way the points work. We are in the chase. Chris White already has a win, so he is locked into the next round. He has advanced. But looking at your point standings, that means Mark Walls is who they're chasing right now because top 6 make it from this round. We have this race and one more. Sean Bryceman 1 point away from second. Again, top 6 make it. Jeff Stabnow 5. John Ottenbacher 11. Jason Hunt 13. Steve Zilstad 14, and Andy Vogt 15 points out of that second place position. Again, only top 6 make it. So right now, coming into this race, Steve Zilstad and Andy Vogt are the two that potentially could get knocked out of the chase.
They very well could, and Chris White, he could go on a hot tear and win all 3 races, which would force everyone to advance on points. And so you never know. You still have to get out there and give it your all. Even Chris White, he doesn't want to see another one win. He wants to win all these things because then it's going to make, someone like John Ottenbacher or Jason Hunt, who are they're in right now, but a bad race could kick them out of the chase.
Yeah, it could. And they couldn't lose anything worse than 8th, so that is a good news for them. But bad news is if you are in 7th or 8th, you're out of the chase. And if the ones out there looking at the point standings right now on the broadcast here, they look a little different here. As you see, obviously, Ryan Maines in 9th is a little over 1,900 points out of first place. But that being said, then it says negative 13. That is not negative 13 to first. That is actually minus 13 to a 9th place. So you have kind of 2 battles going on. You have a battle for the top first place between those top 8, and then you have a battle for 9th place with the rest of the 20 cars. So that's what those numbers are. They aren't indicating to actually first place, but instead to 9th place, as they are mathematically eliminated from the chase at this point. But a solid top 10 finish in points isn't a bad night.
No, it's not a bad night, especially with this group. Some very fast drivers out here. If you look at the iRatings that are available to see, man, these guys, they got 4 digits. I had to take my shoes off to count that high.
Yeah, they have some seriously high digits. 4,300 for some of these guys and higher. So they are seriously into the iRating. These guys are good at what they do. And we want to make a special shout out here tonight. Got word from Mark Walls that he has hooked up his iPad that he hooked up to the Wi-Fi, and his daughter unfortunately had to be in bed as it probably is a school night for them. But she's actually watching in bed right now, watching this race. So big shout out to her watching this race. So definitely going to be a treat for her. I think she's in store for some great racing. She's going to be out there watching her dad race, of course. So we know we have a Mark Walls fan out there tonight.
Always nice to have a fan club. It really kind of helps raise your game a little bit, kind of inspires you. It's hard to describe how it works, but sometimes when somebody's watching, you're able to dig a little bit deeper, find just that little bit more, that X factor that we never can quite describe, but it comes out when you get your fan club going on.
Yeah, it does indeed. And speaking of fans, we have a lot of fans out there that tune in every night to watch. But that being said, this the rest of this week with Mother's Day coming up, you're not going to have a whole lot to watch, as we have absolutely no broadcast tomorrow night. And Saturday, if they are racing indeed, the only one we have is the Laura Truck Series. So the rest of this week here till Saturday, pretty bare when it comes to broadcast. We don't have a whole lot going on. Sunday, of course, if the SRA Truck Series race, that is going to be the only one on Sunday, as the rest of those are off as well. So really, the remainder of this week and here into the weekend, kind of bleak here for MaxSpeedTV.
Well, you know what? That'd be a good time to reach out to us, maybe help fill some of our holes.
Definitely, if you got anyone out there that if you're looking for a one-off race, we definitely have some openings this weekend anyway. We don't have too many going on. I know I got the next 3 Sundays, including this one, obviously Mother's Day, so we probably won't do anything then, but the next 2 and the next 2 Saturdays, including tomorrow. So we do have some openings out there if anybody is looking. But that being said, here we got about 8-9 minutes to go. We might grab a quick word with Chris White and see if he's possibly going to go back-to-back here, or if he has hopes of it here coming into the race.
Chris White, KR and Charles up in the broadcast booth. You got your ears on?
Yeah, guys, what's up?
Well, I just want to get a quick word in here for a pre-race interview. You've already got one win. You're locked into the chase. So coming into this one, what is your goal here for the race? Kind of your mindset. Is it to go out there and win again? Or are you just really out there just trying to get the best finish you can? Or are you really going to push for that win?
Coming into this week, the pressure's a little bit on the downside. As you all know, we got the win last week. So that's kind of put us in a position where we can take it easy. But I still have that mindset to run the race as a normal race, and I'll do that each and every race. And the goal is to win. And I think the ultimate goal of winning is to force the other chase drivers to get in on points. So that's our mission. But again, we have a chance to just get some seat time, some track time, and just hit our marks and just do the best we can.
We are sitting at second fastest right now, so from the looks of it, you got a good shot at it, a 30.471, so a good time here in practice. We'll see where you stack up in qualifying when that comes up here in about a little over 7 minutes anyway. But I just wanted to get a quick word in with you here and see how you were doing out there and all that. KR, you got any questions for Chris before we let him go?
Chris, you're at Kansas Speedway. How does it feel to be at my home track of NASCAR?
Well, I heard on the broadcast you said you're about, 30, 45 minutes away from the racetrack. It's pretty close to Kansas. Wish I could be heading out there with you this coming Saturday. But in the meantime, I got this race to look forward to tonight, and it's a fast truck. I'm looking forward to running up front and putting this truck into victory lane, so hopefully that's where I find you guys at the end of this race.
Well, good luck to you, and it's going to be fun watching you guys rip it on the top side here tonight.
For sure. I think you might see some trucks trying the low line early on. There's tons of grip out there. I think you'll see trucks running the wall primarily, at least in the longer runs. It's fast. It's definitely fast. So look forward to some good racing. We'll talk to you later in the race.
All right, that's Chris White. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us, Chris.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate it.
Again, that was Chris White here, as he is back there, and it would be nice if we get a word in with Sean Brightsman, but it doesn't look like he is in TeamSpeak yet. I do expect him to be in here shortly, so again, he'll be in here, I'm sure. We'll see if we can't get a word in with him. But all together, it's going to be a good race. We have a lot of close battles going on, whether they're in the chase or not. And we'll try to keep an eye on the point standings right now. The closest ones locked in, of course, are Mark Walls and Sean Brightsman. Jeff Stabnow in there as well. So again, it's going to be a battle to watch who finishes where. Determining where they finish here tonight is really going to play an impact on next week, as that is the last one. And the reason I want to talk to Sean Brightsman, if we can get a chance to, is I believe he is actually going to miss next week. So again, if he misses the next week, he's got to do good here, got to get that win, preferably. So we'll just have to kind of see if he does come in here and if that is accurate. But we are going to step away here for just a moment, take care of some last minute stuff, and we will be right back here in about 1 minute or so. So give us just one moment. All right, we're back here, and we do have Mark Walls with us from Walls Beard Co. And somebody is not in bed, so they want to come and talk on the stream. So, Mark, we'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, we're going to roll it to my daughter, Riley. She just wanted to tell MaxSpeedTV.
You.
You're very welcome. Again, Mark Walls, #1 fan. I'm sure you're out there watching tonight. Yeah, it's cool to have you out there watching, and hopefully Mark will bring home the win for you.
Yeah, 10-4. She's rooting.
Well, again, we will begin, and we do have Sean Brightsman here, too, so we'll pull him real quick as well. Sean Brightsman, you got a copy?
I do. How are you today?
Good. So we wanted to talk to you real fast. If I do recall correctly, you are not going to be here. You're going to miss next week's race, correct?
That is correct.
Well, so that being said, we wanted to talk to you real fast here as we got about a minute before we have to go to the national anthem. Missing next week, does it put any more pressure on you this week to try to get that win? Or are you just going to race it like any other week and just do the best you can out there?
It definitely puts a lot of extra pressure. I'm definitely going to go out there and go get that win. But anything can happen here at Kansas. It's not one of my best tracks, but I've got a little ploy in my back pocket in case I need to start and park. I've taught my mom how to drive around the apron, so we'll see what happens.
Well, definitely good there. But again, yeah, sometimes you gotta have that backup driver. It's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully, again, it's kind of time here. We want to see Mark in victory lane. Obviously, that'd be cool for his daughter out there watching. And then you definitely need to get the win, or at least get the best finish you can to try to lock yourself into the points. That way. But it looks like, if we're correct, Steve Silstad is not here. So him not being here so far, that is actually a benefit for you, as he will be points down. So that will help you quite a bit. But again, with any luck, hopefully we'll see you in the top 3 or even in victory lane. Any quick shout out you want to give before we get you back to the race channel? I think we may have lost him.
You got me now?
Oh, there you go. We got him back.
There we go. All right. Sorry, I missed my button there. Yeah, I just want to thank Highway and New Leader for sponsoring our trucks, and then Wicked Chassis for all their preparation on the setup this week. Should be a lot of fun.
All right. Well, we'll get you back up to the channel. Thanks for coming down. And we are going to step away, get to the national anthem, and we'll be right back with qualifying here in about a minute or two.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, we are back here, ladies and gentlemen. Qualifying has begun, and a few drivers out on the track as we will jump down to the racing surface here for you and pull up your driver bar. We'll put up qualifying times here in a minute, but Brandon Weinberg out there can't see what his he can't see what his times is, can't see what position he's in. He does have a white background there, so we'll see if we can't get that sorted out. But we really want to pay attention to our chase drivers here. Of course, we're going to pay attention to everyone else, but those are the main drivers that are in the chase. And there is one of them right there. Of course, just talked to him. That is the 29 of Mark Walls. He, again, is currently sitting in second place as Brandon Weinberg puts it to the top with a 31.407. And he is the only driver to put in a time so far.
Weinberg in that 427 truck. He's always an interesting one to watch because kind of toils around in the middle of the pack and then makes his way to the front, kind of like John Ottenbacher, who just is going to take the top spot.
He is indeed with a 30.833, and Brandon Weinberg going to take it back again. Meanwhile, Mark Walls is now in fourth as he runs a 30.843, but Carl Burke putting that, I believe that's a Miller Genuine Draft, number 53 Chevrolet to second with a 30.779, .009 off of Brandon Weinberg's time.
Carl Burke was running a lot of long runs in practice here, so I'm really surprised to see him qualify this well. But then again, I shouldn't be surprised, or I should, you know what, I'm going to start over. Carl Burke qualifying, that's the surprise story.
And we're looking here. Mark Walls took the pole again with a 30.549. Andy Vogt just put in a third place fastest time with a 30.657. Jason Hunt, another one of our chase drivers, put in a 30.668. So a lot of our chase drivers putting in good times, as we will pull up your qualifying times there on the left side of your screen. And a lot of drivers putting in really good times here, especially our chase drivers, as we're looking in about in the top 5. It looks like 4 of the top 5 are chase drivers.
Andy Vogt, he's sitting in third. He's shutting it down. And Ryan Maines is fifth right now as he comes to a stop on the track. So currently we have one car out on track, and that is the 35 of Chris White, as he is accelerating, getting that truck up to speed.
He is indeed. And, speaking of yellow trucks out there, he is a yellow bar. You see there, it says advanced. It is not chase driver. That means he already has a win. He is the only one with the win. He's only had one chase race so far. But he is the advanced driver. He won last week, so he's locked into the chase via the win. He's looking to get another win out there, and these other guys are looking to get a win as well so that they can get in. So they're looking to get into the chase. Well, Chris White, he said it earlier, he's looking to put the pressure on and get another win and make these guys get into the chase on points. whether he can do that, we'll know that in 110 laps here, but we'll see what kind of qualifying time he puts in.
At Chris White getting ready to come around to complete his first lap. And it is going to be scored as a 30.992 for his opening lap. Be watching for the second one to be faster, as it takes about a lap for the tires to really come up to temperature and to just get that much more speed out of it. We'll see where he's going to start here tonight at Kansas Speedway for the MSTV 165.
He is indeed. He is currently 9th place, as we're seeing a few more drivers come out onto the track. 2 more of your chase drivers, as Chris White's going to jump to 3rd with a 30.623. He did run a 30.4 in practice, so about 2/10 off of his fastest time in practice, so probably just didn't hit the line he really wanted. But meanwhile, Jeff Stabnow coming out onto the track, and we've seen him fast in practice as well, so I do always look to see him up at the front, as well as Sean Brightsman. Those two, we've seen them duke it out here before, and I'm sure they're going to do it again here tonight.
Yeah, Jeff Stabnow coming around to start the clock for his first lap.
Is indeed. It looks like Sean Brightsman is on the track as well, so we'll follow Jeff Stabnow here and until we get his first time in, then we'll switch over to Brightsman. I expect to see these two in the top 5, and while we're watching them go around the track, we probably should pick our wins here, who we think's going to win. We always do it. It's kind of just the thing we do for fun around here, but we'll let you go first here. Who are you going to pick for tonight's win?
Gerald Heffley.
Gerald Heffley, well, there you go. We'll see if he qualifies. I always go with Jeff Stabnow just because, as he just put in a 12th fastest time, 31.396. We know he's faster than that. He was faster than that in practice. So we'll see if he can pick it up. Just didn't quite hit his marks there. Meanwhile, Sean Brightsman, about to put in his first time in that number 46 Highway Wallsbeard Co. Toyota, I believe it is a Toyota. So we'll see what kind of time he puts in, as Jeff Stabnow does pick it up to a 30.446 to put him on pole here for the race.
One of the things I saw Jeff do is he ran the high side for the opening lap and allowed those tires to take a little bit more time to build up some temperature, burn off a little bit more fuel, and then he ripped it down on the bottom and really got in a good lap.
Yeah, and we were talking to these drivers earlier today, and I was informed they were talking about running the low line, and they were asked how many laps to run down there. They said 2 to 3 laps, and you don't want to run anymore, as the engine blows up for Sean Brightsman as he crosses the line. Ran a 30.536, but they were talking about how the low line will eat your tires up, so it's going to be interesting to see if anybody is able to run down there here tonight.
We're going to see it be tried, but most of these guys are going to stick to the high side and run inches off the wall for many laps here at Kansas Speedway, as it is always difficult to find grip on the bottom side of this track.
It is, and again, Gerald Heffley, your pick here, not qualifying. Tom Green not qualifying yet either. And Brad Cornell and Frank Harris not qualifying as well. So we'll see if they are going to qualify here or not. It'll be interesting to see. They have a minute 30, so they still have time to do it. It only takes 30 seconds to get around the track. But so far, it looks like those are going to be our 4 drivers that do not qualify here tonight.
Gerald Heffley's my pick. He's due for a win. He's my dark horse. It's my dark horse pick. I've seen that guy turn a few laps. He's got it in him.
Yeah, it definitely does. You can't count anyone out here at all. Anyone has a chance. Anything can happen and will happen on a racetrack. That's what makes it a racetrack. Again, if it was easy, anybody would do it. But, well, it's not easy, and there are a very few select that can do it and can do it as good as these guys do. So that is why they're here racing, especially these top 8 drivers. But that being said, we have about 30 seconds left here in qualifying. At this point, nobody else can go out, so we can officially say that Jeff Stabnow will be your pole sitter for this race. So we will get rid of your qualifying times off the screen, and it is time to get this race started in 10 seconds. We'll pull up your chase grid here for you so you can see who is in the chase and who has advanced, who's not in the chase. We'll keep that up until the green flag drops, and then we'll pull it up here and there throughout the night so you can keep an eye on it as to who's in it. That being said, checkered flag is waving. We are now getting ready to start this race, and we won't take too much time as these guys are not going to have, I believe, but 1 lap here for the grid. And once they start rolling, so KR, you want to run through our first 4 rows, and I will finish this off here tonight.
Jeff Stabnow in that 24 machine, a new leader on the hood, Walls Beard Co. Eyebrow. That guy laid down a heck of a lap for qualifying, a 30.446. Going to be your pole sitter, going to be in control of the start of this race, but Sean Brightsman on his outside, and that 46 machine with a 30.536 is going to have a preferred line, going to be on that outside starting line. And then Mark Walls, Carl Burke, going to make up row number 2. Row 3 will be Chris White and Andy Vogt. Row 7, Jason Hunt and Ryan Maines.
Well, I think we skipped
row
a few.
4.
I think we skipped a few rows there. Row 5
In 7th spot
is going to be Brandon Weinberg and John Ottenbacher, another one of your chase drivers. Row 6 is going to be the 49 of Doug Hunt and the 07 of Dana Rogers. Row 7 now is going to be Josh Coley, a brand new driver, and that number 33. We have not seen him before. And also the 9 of Tom Green. Row 8 is going to be Gerald Heffley in the 61 and the 77 of Frank Harris. And in row 9, all by himself, is going to be the 18 of Brad Cornell. And that will do it here for your Walls Beard Co. starting grid as they are rolling off. And we're just about 1 lap away from getting this thing started.
Yeah, just Stabnow in that 24 new leader-backed truck. He's got his teammate right behind him in the 29 of Mark Walls. John Brightsman in the 46 in there as well. But Andy Vogt in that 10 and Chris White in the 35. Those guys are going to be some ones to watch. And the 53 of Carl Burke. So this front row, front pack of cars, very stacked with a lot of talent here tonight.
Yeah, talent indeed. Is I accidentally muted my mic there, but talent indeed is the word to say. These guys, just an outstanding group of guys all the way through this field. There it is. Pace car is diving off for the first time. A green flag is out. And we'll put up your interval ticker here as they are racing. Again, it takes them a minute to get going as Jeff Stabnow gets a pretty good lead here, considering he was on the inside. And he's got his teammate of the 29, Mark Walls, pushing him. But we really want to go back here to them. They're 3 wide back for 5th place.
Carl Burke is the meat of that sandwich. Sean Brightsman on the outside. And it looked like, trying to figure out who that is, the 427.
That is Brandon Weinberg.
John Ottenbacher, Andy Vogt getting together here in turn 3.
And they go around as we'll take a look here. Look like Ottenbacher survived this somehow. Andy Vogt getting the worst end of it. Let's go back and take a look. Caution coming out quickly here on lap 2. What happened here to Andy Vogt? Not sure he is indeed one of our chase drivers. We'll see if we can see what happened to him here. I'm sure he had some help because they were all bunched together here. And it looks like... Oh, the 89 of John Ottenbacher clipped him just a little bit. And the 18, of course, got a piece of him as well. So we'll go back here one more time. Let's take a look from our blimp camera here and see maybe what happened. But again, let us know what you see back there, KR. It looked to me like the 89 may have got just a little piece of him.
Yeah, the 89 and the 10 make contact, but it's hard to tell. I think the 10 started coming down on top of Ottenbacher, and John just was not prepared for that. And unfortunately, contact was made.
It was indeed. And yeah, looking from this angle, you can tell the 10 of Andy Vogt did come down a little bit, at least here in our opinion from up in the booth. Again, each driver's going to have their own opinion of it, but from our point of view, it looked like the 10 of Andy Vogt may have come down just a little bit. Maybe he didn't know, his spotter didn't tell him he was not clear, or told him he was clear, and then he wasn't. Again, these spotters are not always the best. But that will bring out the caution here for the first time on lap 2. We're on lap 3 right now. Jeff Stabnow getting some laps led here under caution. So, you don't want to see the cautions, but, these are laps that he doesn't have to work as hard on.
No, they're easy laps to lead. And the 17 of Ryan Maines heading down pit road. Here, looks like he's got a little bit of damage on the left front.
Yeah, it looks like so, as he is coming down. Gerald Heffley on pit road, Brad Cornell on pit road, and we'll see here Josh Coley, again, brand new driver to the series. So he is tagging to the back of the line here. It looks like he's going to get by somebody. He's going to get by the 10 of Andy Vogt. So the only car lap down so far is Brad Cornell, but it looks like Gerald Heffley may. Nope, he's not. He's going to tag to the back of the field, so only one car off the lead lap.
Yeah, Brad Cornell back in pit road, getting some more repairs done. We'll see if he can get back out there, but he is the only car one lap down, so we get another quick caution. If he doesn't go more than one lap down here getting this truck fixed, he can get back on the lead lap and get back into this thing.
Yeah, he really could. And if this is the rate we're going to have cautions here, only on lap 2 having our first one, there's a real good chance he will get that lap back. First things first, he's got to get back on the track. He really hit the 10 of Andy Vogt, so he may have a blown engine. He may have had to tow. Looks like he probably did. He's been there for about 2.5 minutes. As we've had one caution, still 107 laps left to go in this race. So still plenty of time.
Yeah, lots of time to get back into this thing. And, we're only, like you said, on green flag flying as I was trying to finish my thoughts.
It is indeed green flag back out, but go ahead and finish that thought there as they are racing once again.
I mean, we're only on lap 5 of 110, so all kinds of time left in this race still.
Yeah, definitely. And reading chat here, for the one that blew his motor, they do have one fast repair in here. So that is how he could come back. He's still on pit road, so you still have to tow, which could take anywhere from 2 to 4 minutes. But once he uses it, he could come back. He'll just be several laps down. As we got a good battle going on for the lead up here, or at least we did for a minute. It looks like the 35 of Chris White's maybe falling off a little bit already here, as he's going to go from 2nd to 4th. As here comes Jason Hunt. He is in the chase. We don't normally talk about him a whole lot. He got in here after the drops and everything. He worked his way into the chase, and it seems like he's got a new life into him as he's sitting here battling for 3rd position right now.
Jason Hunt, part of the Hunt Motorsports. Him and Doug Hunt, teammates out here tonight. We're going to see how well these guys can work, and Jason Hunt doing what he can to chase down the leaders here.
He is indeed. He's right there as it looks like. Oh, we got contact between the 2 leaders. I'm not sure if the 18 had something to do with that. It's no caution come out, but let's go back and take a look real fast and see what happened between the 24 and the 29. And so we'll take a replay on that. Even though it didn't bring out a caution, there was contact between the 29 and the 24.
Some very close racing as they went down the backstretch, and a little bit of miscommunication between teammates there.
It did, and we saw the 18, Brad Cornell. I'm not sure if that had any factor in this, as they were real close together anyway. And yeah, just miscommunication. It looked like they were trying to come down to the bottom there to avoid the 18 and got together, as that's going to give both of them damage here. So we'll go back up to live. But that is not what they wanted to see getting into each other here, especially this early in the race.
No, and Mark Wall is really suffering from it. He's already dropped back into 5th spot.
Yeah, the one that gained from it, though, who's taking the lead now. On top of that, we have a new leader, the 12 of Jason Hunt, going to be leading his first lap here as he crosses the line. Again, I talked about it. We just don't talk about him too terribly much. He kind of like a little silent sleeper ninja here. He is out front leading this race here for the first time in this race, and I'm thinking for one of the few times this season.
He's a solid finisher, but he's not a flashy driver, so it's great to see him out front. Looks like he's really got this 12 machine hooked up solid, and he's going to start to pull away here from Jeff Stabnow as Chris White's going to make a move on him for second.
He is indeed. Chris White is taking full advantage of that damage. Again, damage isn't critical as far as aerodynamics, but it is going to affect his speed. It is on that back little spoiler there, which is definitely going to hurt his downforce. And looking back to Mark Walls, it looks like his damage is mainly on the front, so his splitter's going to be messed up. That's going to hurt his downforce as well. They're going to get by him pretty easy here. So those guys, at first they didn't want to see a caution. They wanted this thing to go green, stay out. But since neither one of them wrecked, the caution didn't come out, but now they're really wanting one so they can get in there and get this damage repaired.
Yeah, it's crazy how Lady Luck smiles down on these race car drivers, as Jason Hunt's going to lose 2 spots here going through 3 and 4.
He is indeed, and Chris White is the one making the move, and so is Sean Brightsman. Again, we talked to Brightsman before the race, and he is one that is going to miss next week. So he really wants to get up there and get to the win. And again, you never want to see your teammates wrecked out of a race or have damage. And I'm sure they'll get those repairs fixed and get them good as new here when they go in, if we get a caution. If we don't get a caution, this is a good thing for him. It's bad that his teammates were the ones that got involved, but those 2 fast cars that are out of his way now, essentially that he does not have to battle as hard because they have that damage.
And Jason Hunt hanging tough on this outside lane. He's battled back into 2nd spot, and Chris White being stuck on the bottom. You can see he's just not able to get the run coming off the corner that everyone else is.
Yeah, he really is not. And getting a line is key. Your line is key here. You really got to know where to do it. And there are certain lines you just can't run. Again, we talked about it in the pre-race show. Again, you can't run on the bottom. As you see him right here, the run on the top. You can't run on the bottom. As you see, the 46 is down there, but he's not getting all the way to that white line. If you get all the way to that white line, it will eat your tires up. So you can't go all the way down. You can go a little ways, but you cannot go all the way down there. As we'll watch him again here, you see he's about half a car length off of that white line, and that's really pushing it.
Yeah, this track likes to be ran on the high side, and you get such a good momentum down the long front straightaway and down the back stretch from it that it really just pays to be able to work on that high side. But man, when everyone's up high, if you got to pass them, you have to go where they're not.
This is true, and that's what they got to do. And it looks like Jeff Stabnow's damage isn't going to affect him too much, so he is definitely not worried about getting a caution, I'm sure, as he is out front now with a 0.866 second lead. But there's still a huge battle for second place between Sean Brightsman and Jason Hunt. The question is, it looks like Sean Brightsman will take second place. Does he have what he needs to get up there and get by Jeff Stabnow? Again, those guys work together. They're teammates. They have the same setup, so he should be able to get up there and possibly battle with him, as we may have a 3-way battle for second.
Sean Brightsman really trying to hold his line started to wash up to the high side a little bit, almost got into Jason Hunt, and then almost got into Chris White.
And Chris White actually just got into him.
Yeah, contact at corner entry when the trucks are very unstable. Both drivers able to keep going. That was a very, very dangerous moment right there.
Yeah, we've seen these guys, a lot of contact early in this race. Again, it's just hard racing, as we're going to see Jason Hunt take it to the very high extreme, and Chris White take it to the very bottom. Again, that bottom is fast, but you just can't go down there very many laps, or you just won't have any tires left. And then, obviously, they're just going to get by you anyway, so he is going to run there at least one lap, and he will get by Jason Hunt to take second place for the first time here tonight. So the question is, can he hold on to second place? We've seen the leaders up at the front, but they've kind of fallen off. They can't stay up there too long, except for Jeff Stabnow, who has been there for 15 laps now.
Jeff has got a solid truck underneath him. He only ran a few laps in practice here before the race started, and those laps were some really fast laps. Not sure how he's going to play out in the long run here tonight. But as the laps click off, this thing looks like Chris White might start reeling him in.
We'll take a look here at our top 20 times in the race session right now. Again, 17 drivers racing here tonight. Looking at your fastest time based off of time and then the car number to the left of that, your fastest time here in the session is a 30.7, and that is actually Mark Wall's back and forth position. That was prior to his damage. Then it was Jeff Stabnow, but look who's sitting the third fastest time. That's Brandon Weinberg in the 427. He's back in 14th, heavy damage. So unfortunately, I don't think that third fastest time here in the race is going to do him much good unless he can get in and get that damage repaired and get back out there. You won't be running that fast time, not with that much damage to the truck.
Want to touch base real quick with the race winner for tonight, Gerald Heffley in the 61, currently running 16th, and he is about 28 seconds behind the leader, but this is all of his plan. It looks like when he goes a lap down is when he's going to find a way to pass the leaders back.
Well, we'll be looking for him to definitely get up there again. So we'll see. He is currently on the lead lap. We'll just have to wait and see again. But he is obviously gapped to the lead 29 seconds. But that doesn't mean anything. Like you said, we have had cautions here so far. So we'll see if another caution will come out here. They've actually got going good now here, 23 laps, with about 20 of that on this stint. And here goes Chris White, going to try to take the lead one more time. And it looks like Chris White will indeed take the lead here in the race, and this will be his first time out front.
Chris White, your new leader here at Kansas Speedway for the MSTV 165. And that truck looks very solid, very fast. He was one of the guys who ran a lot of laps in practice, focused on some long runs. So we'll see if that's going to pay off for him here as he's starting to pull away.
He is indeed starting to pull away. We'll put that, again, he has now led one lap. And keep it in mind, as you see that yellow advanced bar there, he already has a win here in the chase. He's already moving on to the next round. Here he is in the lead once again. So he, right now, not only has he got the win, if this was the end right now, he'd have the win. Doesn't mean it's going to stay that way, but as they run right now, he's putting a lot of pressure on the rest of these guys in the chase.
Yeah, they're having to make your way into the next round on points is very nerve-wracking. He's already got a race win. He can go out and gamble and focus solely on getting the race win here at Kansas Speedway. He doesn't need to do anything fancy. He is already advancing into the next session. But from a strategy point of view, he wants to win this thing and might force a few drivers into some bad situations and cause them, let's say Jeff Stabnow, for instance, having to make a mistake because he feels the pressure of trying to get a race win, crashes out of the race here or next week, and does not advance into the next round.
Yeah, and it's all possible. And just to note here while we're talking about Jeff Stabnow, right behind him is his teammate again, 29 of Mark Walls. look at the damage that's on that truck. He has a little bit of damage. Don't think the splitter's too messed up, but the right front of that truck is pretty messed up. As we'll actually see if we can go to the right front suspension, as he's on the wall so we can't see it. But there it is. It is a little messed up, as he is actually going to lose some spots here, as he's falling all the way back to 6th position now.
Yeah, Mark Wall's in heavy trouble here. And Jason Hunt has fallen back a little bit as well. He was as high as the race leader, but it looks like maybe he has used up his equipment, burned up his tires, and he is falling all the way back to 6th place.
Yeah, he led 3 laps early, started 7th, currently 6th, but he had the 3 laps, so he got the bonus point for leading a lap, but he'd love to get back up there, and I think you're right. These guys are starting to burn their tires off pretty quick now, as we knew that would come. These guys really, anywhere from 5 to 10 laps, would probably want new tires. We had that caution on lap 2, so we knew they probably wouldn't come in then. But right now, they really would love to see a caution and get some fresh tires. His fuel window is going to be anywhere from 45 to 50 laps. So this roughly could be a 2-stop race. Is 110 laps is what we have. And if you pitted around 50, you would still have to pit again.
Yeah, it's going to be a minimum 2-stop race, and we're going to see how these guys are going to play it out. If it goes green the rest of the way from here, but as usually happens when you get cars on 4 fresh tires with drivers who haven't made pit stops yet, the closing rate and change in speeds make for some very tense situations, and more often than not, a caution ends up coming out.
It does indeed. And we're sitting here looking, we're watching Sean Breitzman, and I want to go on board with him real fast on his roll bar cam here, obviously presented by Highway for the onboard camera. You can barely see the leader in front of him. Chris White has a 5-second gap over Sean Breitzman, Jeff Stabnow right now. So they can't even see the race leader in front of them barely. He is way out there as he's exiting or going into turn 1 when they're coming out of turn 4. That's how far ahead of him they are right now, as we're running on board with Sean Breitzman with the Highway onboard camera.
Like I said, Chris White was one of those guys who ran a lot of laps in practice, did a lot of checking and getting that long run car ready. Sean Breitzman and Jeff Stabnow. Breitzman didn't do any practice laps, and Jeff Stabnow did a few short runs.
Yeah, he did not very many. Again, we didn't see too many of these guys out there. There were a few going out, but this is really turning into a long green flag run. I really didn't expect it. I figured we would have a few more cautions than this. 1 caution so far. As we are now on lap 33 of 110. So already 77 laps ago, as we're on 34 now. So very quickly, laps are starting to wind down. Still plenty of to go, of course, 77. But again, at 30 seconds a lap, now 31, we're roughly running 2 laps a minute. Those laps will tick away very quickly.
Yeah, the laps are going to wind down quick, but we're still got some time to make stuff happen. Speaking of, Brad Cornell is scored in 17th spot, 3 laps down. Dana Rogers in 16th is 2 laps down. Nobody is behind the wall. Everyone is still out there racing. So you don't want to crash out here, because you're going to go straight to the tail, because everyone's out there still.
Yeah, and we'll check in here with 10th place. That is Josh Coley. He is a brand new driver to the series that we have not seen before. So he is brand new in that number 33. So good to see new drivers coming in. And again, obviously too late to get into the chase, but he is running on a top 10 top 10 position right now.
Doug Hunt has hit pit road. He is going to be another one that's trying to short pit here a little bit. And with that short pit going on, we might start seeing Chris White, and the yellow's going to come out as I'm talking about it. Looks like Ottenbacher's in trouble.
He is indeed in heavy damage. He is able to roll off under his own power, but let's go back and take a look. Again, John Ottenbacher is one of our chase drivers. He is 11 points out of second right now. He is battling for it. We'll see what happened here. Like 18 was around him. Did Brad Cornell have anything to do with this, or did he spin it out on his own? Oh, contact was made with the 18 of Brad Cornell. I'm not sure. Ooh, and the 77 getting involved as well. That is Frank Harris. Let's go back to again. Let's look from the blimp camera here and see what we can see. Again, I'm not sure if one of them came up, but we'll see if you can get a good view of it as well, and see if we can find out exactly what happened here.
I looked at it really close, and it looks like a little bit of netcode, but at the same time, I think it was just some poor judgment on John Ottenbacher, not quite knowing how close the 18 of Brad Cornell was right there.
Yeah, he definitely was scooting up as we're watching it from the blimp camera here. Pardon me. But yeah, he was making the upward motion towards the 18 of Brad Cornell. And again, Brad Cornell was already 5 laps down. So it's not going to help Brad Cornell, but it's really going to hurt John Ottenbacher. As again, he was a chase driver. He still is a chase driver. He just has not advanced yet, and doesn't look like tonight is going to be his night to lock himself in.
No, Ottenbacher does have his fast repair. Looks like he's got a smoking engine, so he will have to get that fixed.
He is indeed. And, the people that are going to benefit from this, well, that's anybody that was behind the 35 of Chris White. They're all bunched up now, and they are going to be back to his back bumper here. So this could make it interesting for him. He's definitely got a long-run truck. Question is, does he have a short-run truck?
Chris White did start to open up a big lead in the latter stages of that run, and it did take him quite a while to get to that lead position, so we'll see just how slow it is on the short run for him compared to everyone else.
We will indeed. And again, this looks like as good a time as any here to go crank it up style. So, of course, why not when we get the green flag, we will go crank it up here once at least. We'll try to go more than once here for the race. But we have Jeff Stabenow sitting in third place. Let's see if we can pull him down real fast, see if we can't get a quick word in and see about that damage.
Jeff Stabenow, KR and Charles in the broadcast booth.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Well, we want to talk to you real fast. We see you are sporting the new leader onboard camera here tonight. We saw the little incident there between teammates. So, give us a little info there. This looked like maybe a miscommunication. One of y'all coming down to try to get out of the way of the 18 and just collided with each other.
Yeah, we had a slow car there getting into the corner, and Mark called out 3 wide, and I just didn't get down to the bottom of the track fast enough. He was coming down a little faster than me, and we just had too much of a run on that car, so we're going to take it 3 wide in the corner there, and it didn't work out too good.
It did not, but we're going to go green here. It looks like you got the damage repaired. Use that fast repair. Does the truck seem to be handling all right?
No, I still got the damage. I got probably about 20 seconds worth of damage still, so I repaired a little bit of it. This thing's pretty loose here on the long run, so about 20 laps in, we're sliding all over the place. Figured I'd save that fast repair.
Well, that being said, looks like you are going green soon, so we'll get you back up there, and hopefully we'll see you in the top 3. You are currently sitting in third place.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, again, that was Jeff Stabenow with that new leader on a board camera. So we will go back to our main camera here. But again, it's that time. We're going to go crank it up here. Again, this is going to be good. We love going crank it up here on MaxSpeedTV. And what time better to do it than at a restart here? Looks like lap 41 will start us off as the pace car is diving off. So we're going radio silent. Crank it up coming here for a few laps. We'll be right back. All right, we are back here from Crank It Up here on MaxSpeedTV. We are on lap 43 of 110. Chris White still up front, and he's got the 24 of Jeff Stabnow right behind him. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see. Can he catch him? He still has that damage. You heard from him, about 20 seconds worth of damage. It is clearly not slowing him down at all right now. Neither is Mark Walls, as he's sitting in third place. And Jeff Stabnow is trying to make a bid for the lead, as I do think Chris White has a better long run truck than he does a short run.
Chris White on the outside here is Jeff Stabnow on the 24. Going to be making a move for the lead, reclaiming that top spot. But how long can he hold on to it? He said he gets super loose after about 20 laps. So we'll see what he's got, as we're only about 5 laps into this restart.
We are indeed here as we're watching this lead. We're going to bring a special guest up here to the booth with us. David Applegate, you got a copy? Well, there you go. There you go, David, you got a copy? Uh-oh, I think he's having some mic issues, but he is not in the race tonight. Again, I do believe he said he might miss some of these races. If I recall correctly, but hopefully he'll get that mic working. But he gonna help us out here in the booth. Just join us here, an extra set of eyes watching this. As right now, those top 5, really top 6, are right there bunched up together.
Yeah, they're all battling side by side, nose to tail. And the 33 of Josh Coley trying to make a move underneath the 17 of Ryan Maines.
He is indeed again a brand new to the series, and he's done a great job with the top 5 right now. And he very well could be in the top 3 before you know it. So we'll see. Looking at our chase drivers here, we have the top 3 are all chase drivers. Going through, it looks like we have John Ottenbacher. Used this fast repair, as you mentioned earlier. He's in 8th place after that, so still on the lead lap. And he's actually recovering quite well here in 8th place. We'll look to see him bouncing back here into the top 5 shortly.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of ground to make up before he catches up to Carl Burke. He's got the 07 of Dana Rogers to get around here. The lapped car of Dana Rogers currently running 16th, 2 laps down, but still out there. However, Brad Cornell packed up, headed home. That last incident with John Ottenbacher, unable to repair it, and he is headed home.
He is indeed. Sean Brightsman back in 11th, and we'll see. David, you got that mic on yet? That's might be still having some mic issues. Something is going wrong with the 46 of Sean Brightsman, as he is down on the apron nearly, and he is off pace. Not sure if he meant to, but he does have quite a bit of damage to the back of that truck. Oh, and we do have David.
Well, I will tell you, the 46 of Sean Brightsman came out of turn 4, got loose, chased it up the track, smashed that outside wall, caving in his right side, and then when no one around him was spinning, and then straightened it back up and got going before the yellow came out.
He did a good job to save it before the caution came out, although he might have liked to see it so he could get that damage repaired. Is his teammates have kind of left him up at the front, and he's actually getting passed by several people now, so he's falling back a few spots, but up front, not falling back any spots, that is Jeff Stabnow, but there's a chance, because look who's coming behind him. Chris White and Mark Walls all over his back bumper right now.
Yeah, we got the top 3 under a blanket going through the corner now. They just keep looking at each other going through that, all separated by 1 car length. Jeff Stabnow and Chris White have already proven themselves going into the playoffs in both the Truck and the Xfinity Series. And Mark Wall is trying to get up there and make a statement for himself, win, and you're into the next round of the playoffs. So everybody knows that every lap led, every position on the racetrack, every corner you can get an advantage on somebody is very important for this. And it's really worth it for all these guys to be pushing as hard as they can right now.
It is indeed, and good to see your mic is working now.
Yep, it was unplugged.
Oh, well,
I'm online now.
There you go. That will do it if it's unplugged. But again, quick to check in with you. I know work, I believe, is getting in the way. That's why you were unable to be in the actual race, but getting here a little late so you can join us in the booth.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm prioritizing the Monday night Xfinity races because I'm in the chase there. I had a great run with these guys in the Truck Series, but my missing the chase, coupled with some other commitments coming up on Thursday nights, has really worked out really well for me to do those commitments and then come in here and watch these guys battle it out.
Well, definitely always good to have a driver's perspective. Of course, KR, you are a driver as well. I've done my fair share of racing on here. But, you know, always good to have that extra set of eyes, plus the driver's aspect of it. But we're here on a lap 54 of 110. We have 57 to go, so we're just about at the halfway point. So, again, KR, we've already picked our winners here. Of course, I picked Jeff. You picked Gerald Heffley. So, David, it is the ritual around here. You have to pick who you think's going to be the winner, who you want to win. So who would that be here for you tonight?
Well, I know that Ryan Maines always has a good setup, and I know that because I've driven a lot of them. And he likes running up there near the front, but this is the closest I've seen him up near the front in a long time, just into that big battle for the lead. So I would say that Ryan Maines is my pick, and we've got a battle for the lead right now. Chris White inside Jeff Stabnow.
It is indeed. Chris White may look like it. And we were talking, KR, I think we both would agree, and I'm sure if Dave, you've been watching us, it definitely looks like Chris White has a long-term, long-run setup, as we'll see him battle, and those are nearly going 2-3 wide here for the lead, as you got the 29 of Mark Walls really pushing the 24, and even that is really not helping them propel themselves in front of that 35 of Chris White, who is just really faster tonight.
I know all 3 of those guys are more than capable of running 3 wide into these corners if you wanted to, so you just have to wonder how much is the 24 and 29 car teammates going to help each other out getting by Chris White, because I believe they both are in the chase. They're both teammates at Wicked Chassis, and you just wonder how much they're going to team up against the 35 and get one or the other of them into the lead, or are they just going to try and go 3 wide and get whoever out in front?
It's going to be interesting. We've already seen that contact between them two early in the race. And KR, 35 of Chris White, he's usually your pick, so you didn't pick him this time, and he's actually up there battling for the lead, so is it making you reconsider your pick here tonight?
Gerald Heffley is currently in 10th spot. He is stalking the field and working his way methodically to the front, so no, I'm happy with my pick.
Well, there you go. You go with mine. I picked Jeff. I always pick Jeff because he always says he never wins. He says he's the underdog here. I think since I picked him, he's been doing better. So, I was teasing him yesterday in practice. It was technically this morning, but, then I'm going to have to stop picking him. And he asked why. I said, because he's not the underdog anymore. He's out front most of the time. you can't be picked as the underdog if you're not the underdog anymore. As we're back to the front, as Chris White does have the lead, and now it's really a battle for second between them two. Mark Walls, always a favorite here. He's running in second right now as he's going to push his teammate, Jeff Stabenow, back to third. So this is interesting to see John Ottenbacher back to seventh. And we'll look here. Andy Vogt, the last one in the chase right now. He's in 11th place, 1 lap down after that incident on lap 2. And he just hasn't been able to get that lap back because we haven't had the caution.
I'm just impressed that after this long of a green flag run, everybody is still so tight. The battle for the lead has all of a sudden jumped out a bit, as Chris White's got about a 10 truck length on Mark Walls and another 15 back to Jeff Stabenow. And the top 5 were really close together about the halfway point, but now everybody's spread out really well. This is when you really want to start thinking about your tires, making sure that you get up there into that high line as smoothly and carefully as possible. Because if you get up too high, you're up in that wall, you get down too low, and you scrub off a lot of speed. Right now is just when you really want to make sure that your tires are really smooth and you're just getting the best long run setup out of your cars as possible. And I know Chris White and Ryan Maines both are good at that.
One of the difficult things here at Kansas Speedway when you are running that high side is you really have to focus on not overdriving it. You say enter the corner smoothly, and the best way to do that is to not overdrive it, get off the throttle a little bit early, roll into that corner. When you're inches off that outside wall, there's little room for error. Now, the good news is when you do hit that wall, you're not going to hit it a ton, and you're able to pull off of it and keep going.
Definitely, you don't hit it too terribly bad. And the key to getting into this wall, because you don't hit it too hard when you normally hit it. The really thing you want to be conscious about is who's around you. If you come off of it and somebody's around you, that's usually when we see the caution. It's the multi-car stuff that happens. It's not the single car wall scrape or anything like that. It's when you come off the wall and there's someone around you that you're not aware about. That's usually what brings out the caution here at Kansas. So again, just a hard job. As spread out as they are right now, I don't see that happening. Is once again Chris White having such a good long run truck as he is pulling out to a almost 3-second lead once again. But these are open setups, so it makes you wonder what Mark Walls, Jeff Stabenow, what are these guys going to do if we get a green flag pit stop or even a yellow pit stop here? What are they going to do to these trucks to try to make them more of a long run truck?
I'm not sure. That's all in the driver's camp, honestly. I mean, there's not much you can change. It's just tire pressures and a couple of other things. But yeah, these guys have been experienced long enough. They know exactly what they're going to put into their cars. They're already thinking ahead to what the next adjustment is for their cars because they've put so many laps on it now. They know exactly where its weak spots are. They know exactly what they're going to do going into the pit stops.
Yeah, and we want to mention, too, we'll pull it up real fast. 2 cautions, 46 laps to go. We are over halfway to go. We watched earlier, KR, you might have a closer number for us. I didn't keep too close to track. But it was roughly about 10 laps or so, I think, while the 29 of Mark Walls and the 24 of Jeff Stabenow, is the 29 of Mark Walls going to get into the wall. Those tires are really failing him right now. But for about 10, maybe 11 laps, they were able to stay out in front of him. That being said, we've had 2 cautions here, 45 laps to go. If a caution comes out with about 20 to go, that could change things up. Because right now, I think if we had a caution now, and then we went green again, I think Chris White has the advantage. However, if we have a short run, I think the 24 or the 29 have the advantage. So, a caution at the wrong point or the right point, however you want to see it, whoever your driver it is, could really determine this race.
One of the reasons why I like to pick Chris White on a routine basis is he's able to play chess out there. He's a very smart, very methodical driver. He knows this race is in its mid stages. He knew he had a good long run truck and he didn't have to force the issue to make the pass. But I'd like to point out that once he made that pass, man, he opened up a huge lead in a hurry. And so I think if we get into a short run situation, he knows he's going to have to get after it. He's going to dig a little deeper, and he'll push that truck to its limits and find a way to win this thing.
Yeah, he definitely will. And, you know, we talked about having a driver's aspect. David, you've been out on the track with these guys all season. So, you know, you've been around these drivers. You know how their minds work a little bit more than we do. So, you know, at this point in the race here, as we're closing in on laps, you know, what's going through the mind? Have you heard from any of these guys, like what they're planning, what they typically do strategy-wise?
Only from my teammates, not much from anybody else. All I see is how they react to what happens on the racetrack. I just know how hard they race me. I haven't been in their minds very well.
Well, we thought it was worth a shot. Again, you get to hear radio chat that we don't always get to hear. We actually are working on a way so we can listen in on radio chat, because we've heard it gets a little chatty in there sometimes.
It can.
But
sometimes it's not the best material for broadcasting, but it definitely gives you an insight into the mind of the driver.
Yeah, we're working on a way where we can hear it, that it won't go over the stream. But again, you know, that helps us know kind of what's going on out there on the track a little bit more to listen.
Car on the
to
wall,
radio.
spinning front straightaway. It's Josh Cully.
And that is not good. And we'll take a look as he is going to fall positions. There he is. And that engine looks pretty beat up. Let's go back and take a look.
Man, oh man, Ryan Maines just squeaked by.
We'll take a look here. We'll go ahead and go up to our blimp camera here. Again, riding with a Goodyear blimp to see what happened. We'll see Ryan Maines go by. You can see him back there. Ryan Maines is a little loose too. And boy, did he ever squeak by. As right there's going to be the hard lick to the outside wall. And let's go back one more time. Let's watch that again. And let's go on board with Josh Coley here in the 33. As you'll see him here in a minute, he just gets it loose. He may have scraped the wall, but I don't think so.
Oh yeah, it looks like to me he scraped the wall coming out of 4. It's what got him out of shape.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's going to be this one. He had such a good run. He's still being shown on the lead lap. We'll see if he maintains that. There it is. There's the wall coming out of turn 4. And it spins it around. And right there is Ryan Maines. And just a hard lick to the outside wall. And that will definitely be some damage. And it looks like he is going to be able to roll it off on his own power. So that's good. As he is heavily damaged, but rolling under his own power. So he'll be able to use his fast repair and not have to tow. And again, towing is such a bad deal here. You do not want to do it, as it just takes so much time, especially when it's under caution.
Yeah, you lose a lot of time here at Kansas Speedway because the tow takes like anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes, and you're going to go at least 2 to 3 laps down when you do have to be towed back to your pit stall. But like you said, he did have a quick repair. He has used it, but he's still sitting in a stall waiting to get something else done, I guess.
And he may have already used his fast repair. I don't think he has. But he doesn't have that damage repaired. Makes you wonder, he possibly may have forgot to have it checked.
Well, another possibility is you accidentally have it checked on an earlier pit stop, and then I've made that mistake before.
Yeah, and that's what stinks. You scrape the wall and put just some scrapes on it, and even if you have 10 seconds of optional repair and accidentally have that fast repair checked, it will use it. And then when you really need it later, it's not there. So, you know, it stinks when it happens, but it can happen. So, you know, it just goes to show you, KR, we've talked about it. And obviously, David, you're a driver, so you deal with it on a daily basis. There is so much more stuff than just turning left that you have to be aware about. Your surroundings, your tires, fuel, if you're using your fast repair. These drivers have so much to think about that it's a wonder they can even get around this track without wrecking.
It really is. Chicago last week was a testament to that because my pedal set was a little bit on the fritz, so I had a hard time with my gas. Never before have I realized just how much of my brain power goes into just the throttle and the brake, to say nothing else of turning and race strategy. It really is just a huge amount of things on a driver's plate you have to think about. More than just handling the car, it's handling the race, handling your competitors, and handling it better than anybody else out there.
Yeah, you definitely do. And KR, you've been behind the wheel quite often. You do a little bit more dirt. So, you know, you compare the two here. You've probably, I don't know, I think you've done some asphalt racing. So, you know, comparing the two from dirt to asphalt, which one do you think really, which one takes the most concentration here? Or is it really about even when you add this many cars out on the track?
The thing about dirt is everything comes at you so fast. All you are doing is driving for all of your worth, and you don't have any time to think about stuff. You are just going pure and raw instincts. But you get into a long race here, like with the NASCAR series and the trucks or the Xfinity or the Cup car, and you got a lot of time to plot and scheme, maybe make some adjustments that are needed to get your vehicle going, turning better, doing something better, and you know, having a long tire run, setting up for that. You know, Chris White, time and time again here tonight, we've seen him do just that. Take his time, not go straight to the lead and burn up his equipment. And, you know, it's worked to his favor so far because we've gotten into these long runs. So it's just two different mindsets, but it still takes every bit of driving talent to get these things around here.
We're coming up on the green flag. It'll be 35 laps to go when the green flag drops. Lucky number 35 for Chris White. It's going to be kind of a medium to long run. Maybe he can get it up there again.
We'll see, as there it is. A green flag is out, and we're racing once again here to start lap 76 of 110 laps. As again, you heard it there, 35 laps to go. Mark Walls gets a huge jump, but looking back to about third place, we got a good run here. Here comes Chris White. My bad, Carl Burke trying to get by Chris White, as well as Ryan Main. So we got a three-way battle for third position right now.
We do. Chris White running that high line. Carl Burke. And, ooh, man, the 17 of Ryan Main's big wiggle coming off of 4, so he's going to lose some ground there. But it looked like they were getting ready to go 3 wide until Carl Burke got squirrely coming off of 4.
Yeah, Ryan Main's still a little squirrely here. And, you know, this is really starting to turn into a 4 and 5 car battle. Is here comes John Ottenbacher and the 12 of Jason Hunt, who is going to take the spot from Ryan Mains. And he may possibly take it from Carl Burke, as it looks like he is on his way back to the front. So Jason Hunt trying to get 4th place from Carl Burke right now. His contact almost made there. I'm not sure if they actually touched or not.
I saw that coming all the way through the tri-oval. I'm like, they're going to hit each other, and it looks like to me they might have. And Carl Burke's going to remember that. He's going to remember how to race Jason Hunt from here on out. We've also got a battle for the lead. Jeff Stabnow down to the inside of Mark Walls. He's clear going through 3 and 4.
And he will get by him this time. Last time we saw them two side by side, it didn't end well for either one of them. But this time there's no lap car in the way. So, again, they are definitely just running out front. So, once again, the short run has been very good for Jeff Stabnow and Mark Walls. As, again, they have led Stabnow 34 laps. White has led 36. Walls has led only 5. But the question is, how many laps will it go? So we're on lap 79 right now. We started on lap 76. So 3 laps in, Chris White's kind of back there, but he's a little off. So how many laps will it take for him to get up there? And, you know, once he gets up there, will we see another caution?
Yeah, Chris White is really closing the gap on these two, the 24 and 29. It's only a matter of time before he catches them. And then when he catches them, is he going to pass them as fast as he can, try and open up? Or is he going to maintain the same pace that he has? It really comes down to how you're feeling out there. Like I said, you know, here in the NASCAR races, you got time to think about stuff. So is he prepared to go for a short run here? Or is he setting up for a long run?
Yeah, and that's what we see in chat. They're talking about saving tires already. And he very well could be saving those tires. As the front two really, you know, they're both chase drivers, keep in mind. So you've got the 24 Jeff Stabnow, the 29 of Mark Walls. Both these guys are chase drivers. They want to save tires. They want to try to make it to the end, as they should be able to make it on fuel. Actually, they will make it on fuel. So tires are the only issue right now. The main question is, how hard are these two going to race each other? Again, they're teammates, but you're only teammates till that last lap. Once that last lap comes, white flag waves, it's every man for himself out there.
Jason Hunt just picked up 2 spots in one corner, got by both Ryan Maines and Carl Burke. He's from 6th to the 4th position. He's also in the chase, and if this pans out the way it is now, Jason Hunt's going to be in good shape to get up into the next round come next week.
Yeah, and the one you want to talk about, somebody that is struggling right now, that is the car one lap down, the 46 of Sean Breitzman. He is definitely not sitting in a good spot right now. He's going to miss next week. He's one lap down, back in 13th. So if he, at the end of the night, based on the points, if he is out of the top 6 drivers, his chase is done. As he will miss next week, unless he can somehow, he did talk about somehow finding a computer to get to, so he can at least get to the race. But
he said he trained his mother to run the bottom.
Yes, that is what he said. So if he can get her in here, or at least come into the race and enter the race, he could have a shot. But you couple, a last place finish, if he is able to just get in here and run the bottom, or just enter and not be able and not race, or anything. If he doesn't show up, he's definitely out of the chase. But if he does show up, but you couple that with a 13th place finisher, one lap down, everybody that's in the chase is ahead of him right now. I unfortunately think his chance hopes are probably going to be done, and that's unfortunate because he has been so dominant here in the Truck Series.
Both this season and last season, Sean Breitzman was a perennial winner. He and Mark Walls would dominate pretty much every race, and now Jeff Stabnow and Chris White have started stepping up in this season. But it's just another example of how much of a wild card the chase can be. 3 races does not define the entire season. And unfortunately, when it comes to trying to vie for a championship, you need to be good here, now, and quickly. And if the odds are stacked against Sean Breitzman, that's unfortunate for him, but he knows he can come back next season and he can kick all of our butts.
Yeah, he definitely is good. And like you said, it is about the here and now. Again, all season long, you can win every single race, but it doesn't matter. Once you come to the chase, it's all about being good right then and there. And, you have your mulligans, those drop weeks, but those are in the first part. So now that it is the chase, that's done. I believe they might still be factored in, but it doesn't matter in the chase. You've got to be on your A game, and not saying he's not. He's just had unfortunately bad run here due to an incident early in the race, and it may cost him what counts the most, and that's the chase.
Yeah, Chris White in the 35 machine has really started to close in on 24 of Jeff Stabnow. Gonna start putting some pressure on him. And speaking of pressure, the 17 of Ryan Maines all over the back bumper of the 12 of Jason Hunt.
He is indeed right there, and he's gonna get by him. And again, David, you were talking about that you've run some of Ryan Maines' setups, so he's got some good setup behind him. So he definitely is a contender. He is sitting the first driver out of the chase in 9th place. So again, he could still get a top 10 in the points, and that's what he's battling for right now, as he was right on the back bumper, and now here comes John Ottenbacher. It's just amazing how fast these guys are, and they can get right there at any given day. Anybody could really have a shot at winning a race.
Oh, absolutely. And Ryan Maines has always had fast setups, but I believe the main reason why he's not in the chase this year, besides the fact that he has awful luck, and I've seen a lot of that awful luck firsthand, he can build his setups right up to the point of being too much of a handful, where they're fast, but you need to have a perfect line and perfect rhythm in order to make it really fast. And he's really, really good at that, but all you need is 1 or 2 little mistakes, and all of a sudden you've damaged your car and you just can't run up front with the big guys anymore. So the fact that he's still running 5th this late in the race bodes really well for him and his setup in this particular race. But yeah, he is fast all over the place, and I would contend possibly the best driver in the TRGA Motorsports camp.
Yeah, definitely good. And speaking of good, you've got to be really good here. 20 laps to go now, 19 laps to go. And look who is coming back to life. That is the 35 of Chris White. He has stopped conserving tires as he is all over the back bumper of the 24 Jeff Stab now. And he's going to try to put that DeWalt, the number 35 Toyota, back in victory lane here again for 2 weeks in a row. And this is the window of opportunity for him that he needs to get up there and get to the front. This is typically when he does come back to life, and he is definitely doing it here as he's trying to get by Jeff Stab now.
Chris White has been working over that back bumper of Jeff Stabnow. Had a couple runs on him, but Jeff ran a defensive line and held it, not necessarily blocking, just taking away taking away his line, and it's really caused White a few incidences where he's had to lift and lose ground and challenge back. But here he is coming out of turn 4, going to go door to door here, cross the start finish line, losing some ground, but into turn 1, going to gain that right back.
Yeah, and they're giving each other a lot of room. They're going to race each other hard. We expected that, again, especially in the chase, but they're going to race each other very hard. And we saw this last Thursday night, I believe it was, these two duking it out side by side. And that might have been Monday night for that matter. I believe it was Monday night.
Yes.
And these two were going side by side. Here they are do it again, but this time for second place. And we do want to let everyone know out there, as if it's not hard enough to race side by side at 170 miles an hour in these trucks or the Xfinity cars. Jeff Stabnow has actually been facing some sound issues. So for the majority of that last 10 laps, he didn't even have car sounds. So imagine trying to race side by side with someone when you can't even hear their car, you don't even know where they're at.
And the big thing that I'm impressed with is the fact that usually when you run side by side, you're not able to use exactly the line you want to, which of course leads to the fact that you will end up slowing down ever so slightly when you are running side by side with somebody. You and the car that you're racing against will both slow down. Yet during this battle, they've been reeling in Mark Walls.
Yeah, they have been indeed. And Chris White, I'm not sure if he made a tweak there that is costing him some time, or if it's the 24 that made changes to be a little bit faster on the long run. But it did seem to take Chris White a little bit longer to get by the 24, especially there in that battle that we were just watching. He was struggling to get by him, but he has since got by him now, and he is running down Mark Walls with 14 laps to go. Right now, it is a battle of real estate and time. Does he have enough time to make up the real estate to catch the 29 of Mark Walls?
Last time across the stripe, it was almost a second even between the 29 and the 35. This time across the stripe, it's going to be slightly more. So Mark Walls has legged it out slightly over Chris White, but now that 35 is able to run the line he wants. And what I would like to bring attention to is the fact that Chris White won last week. He is into the next round. He does not have to race this hard. So you may ask, why does he want so badly to win this? Well, it's more than just the bragging rights that he won another race. There is no position worse, in my opinion, than being a chase driver not sure in the final race whether or not you're going to make it into the next round. And if Chris White can pull off this win, then even the great drivers like Jeff Stabnow and Mark Walls will have to race hard again next week at Charlotte in order to have this chance. They will not have the opportunity to lay back and take it easy.
Yeah, me and Carol were talking about that, the pressure factor. You just want to put that pressure on them and make sure going into that they are not comfortable. As Chris White's going to get into the wall there just a little bit. We'll see if that affects his truck at all as he's closed that gap from 0.966 seconds to 0.566 seconds, now 0.466 seconds. So he is reeling him in very quickly. So that little wall scrape didn't do that truck any damage. So again, KR, I think you should have went with Chris White tonight, as he is on rails here tonight.
Gerald Heffley is currently running 9th in that 61 machine. He's waiting for the right moment to strike. I have every confidence in Gerald Heffley being able to pull this win out.
He better make that strike quick because Chris White is less than a car length off of Mark Walls.
He's definitely there. He's in the top 10. We'll see if he can make his strike soon. But we don't want to leave this lead too terribly much, as now look at the gap. 0.1 separates first and second right now. Chris White saved a little bit here. Took a little bit longer than we thought to come to life in this last run. But there they are right now. 9 laps to go. That's only 9 laps for Mark Walls to hold off the 35. But on the flip side, that's only 9 laps for the 35 to get by the 29. So can the 35 of Chris White get by the 29 of Mark Walls here? 9 laps to go. Going to be 8 at the line.
Chris and you White. Say only 9 laps. 1 lap feels like an eternity around here when you're dealing with these type of traffics, these type of cars. 9 laps is, there's no other word for it. 9 laps when you're battling for the lead is an eternity.
It is indeed. And Kara, were you about to say something there?
Yeah, Chris White was diving down to the bottom, getting ready to make a pass on Mark Walls, pulling door to door with him in the middle of the corner, but losing some ground on the straightaway.
Yeah, he's right there. Again, we don't want to leave this battle here. If there are any other battles going on the track, we do want to watch those. But this battle just got way more interesting. 3 cars more interesting for that matter, is now you have 7 laps to go. Mark Walls out front, Chris White behind him in second. And look what you have in front of Mark Walls. There are 3 lap cars back there. The 49 of, I believe that is Doug Hunt. It is the 07, I believe, is back here. So 3 lap cars coming into the picture. How is this going to affect this battle here for the lead?
Going to be very impactful as long as these guys, though, lap cars are smart, move to the bottom, get out of the way, let these leaders race in these final stages. And Dana Rogers is going to do just that. Rogers will hug that white line, and the leaders are going to get on by. But unfortunately here, it looks like Chris White just is unable to make anything happen. He gets into the corner a little bit better than Mark Walls, but Walls is able to get a good run off the corner.
Yeah, and you talk about it being uneventful, impactful on the race, but it really is in a way when you think about it, because, you know, they have to pick a lane, and obviously whichever lane the lap car picks, they're going to go to the other lane. So while they're passing them, that's one less opportunity in a corner that he can get to the inside and try to get by. So you know, those were 3 corners he couldn't get by here with 5 to go. He's back on the inside once again, and we'll see if he can get by this time, but he still just can't close the deal, as he is 0.099 off, now 0.133.
That is why the high line at Kansas is so beneficial. You can carry that momentum around the high side. You just can't carry that momentum off the inside. And Chris White has just hit the wall coming out of 2.
And that is not what he wanted to do, especially with 4 laps to go, as that may seal his fate here. We'll have to see. He doesn't have a whole lot of damage, but he does have a little bit to that back spoiler. And I believe here 3 laps to go. Unfortunately, that is probably going to give the win to Mark Walls, unless Mark Walls gets into the wall, and it could even this battle back up again.
They are all going to crash, and Gerald Heffley is going to come out the leader.
Yeah, and when that's possible, that could happen too. We'll see. He's still back in 9th position. Your leader, Mark Walls, with 3 to go. Chris White is now 1.183 seconds behind. He is closing the gap, though, 1.2 now. So I just don't know if he has enough time to get up there, as we're watching the 29 of Mark Walls fixing to be coming up on 1 to go. So we don't want to leave him. We'll see if he gets to that wall. You never know. Something could possibly happen. You know, he gets into the wall, scrapes it, Maybe a lap car comes up and plays a factor into it, but I don't think it is going to happen, as right there will be 1 lap to go, presented by Northwest Racing Series. White flag is in the air.
Mark Walls all the way up against the safer barrier going through turns 1 and 2. That's the line that's carried him all the way up here to the front. It's been the fastest, the smoothest line around here, and that is the line that Chris White took to his doom. He could not carry it the speed correctly off of turn 2. Mark Walls is in the final corner, ready to punch his ticket into the next round of the chase.
He is indeed, and right there he will do it, as he will be your race winner here tonight. Mark Walls bringing it home to victory lane, and he will be the second driver in the chase to lock in due to a win. And that's just putting the pressure on everybody else now, as he was already second in points, and now he's going to stay second in points with that win. So this, again, is going to make it even tougher on the rest of these drivers. All right, we'll be right back here in just a few moments, folks. We're going to get to the post-race show, but first we're going to watch the 29 of Mark Walls do some burnouts here, and we, of course, will be right back here with your top 3 interviews and the rest of your post-race show coming up in just a few moments. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with your post-race show. Coming in third place here tonight is the 24 of Jeff Stabnell, and KR, I believe, has caught up with him down on pit road.
Jeff, you look like you had a great truck in the early stages of a run, but then at about 15 to 20 laps, it really faded away from you. But still finishing third here tonight, it's got to be a great sense of accomplishment holding on to that truck.
I had a giant pile of crap tonight. We didn't do a good job, but it was good enough, man. We hung on to her. I was good for maybe 10 or 12 laps, and then it got super loose early. I went too far on my adjustments, and I'm running real tight there late. So, yeah, just a bad job on the setup, but we were able to bring it home.
Now, finishing third here in a chase race, how's that feel, knowing that this was the second race? You got one more to go to advance, either to win and lock yourself into the next round or to point into the next round.
Well, I'll tell you what, big ol' congrats there to my teammate. I'd have liked to have been where he is right now. Mark wheeled that that pile of crap into the... I don't know how he did it, man. He's amazing putting it in victory circle there. So big congrats to him. As far as I go, I'm happy with my finish. Pointed in. I don't think we've got to go out there and try to win one in Charlotte. We had a good finish last week. Good finish. solid finish will probably get us into the.
You were battling a ton with the 29 and the 35 going into the final laps. During that final run, you had a great battle for the lead. What was happening with your car that you fell back? You were having such a great battle with the 29 and the 35.
Sorry, I am having some audio problems. You were cutting out there. What's the question?
Would you like fries with that?
Yeah, I missed the question. So fries, no, I don't want fries.
Sorry, we were just watching you run up front the whole time, and we were just wondering what happened to your car. Did the other drivers just flat out beat you going up into the last couple of laps, or did you beat yourself? What happened?
I don't know what you mean by that. Chris got me. Chris had a much better long run than I did. I held him off as long as I could, but there's just no way we were going to hold him off for 40 laps. Kind of burned it up there. Didn't really have anything for those guys after that. But
A valiant effort, though, that really shows that you're ready to go on to the next round. You feel good for Charlotte?
Well, we'll see when we get closer. I don't know. Yeah, I feel all right. We just got to have a solid finish.
All right, thank you so much, Jeff, bringing it home third in the 24 New Leader Chevrolet. Moving on to second place, Chris White. What a run. Would take us through that last couple laps and that battle for the lead with Mark Walls.
Yeah, that was a good run for the 35 Toyota Tundra there. Tough race. Had a dominant truck, fast truck. Thought I might have had the 29 truck there, but I got myself into the wall and didn't have any time left to really catch back up and get him. I didn't have a scratch on it until then, and kind of lost it there at the end.
How much longer do you think you would have been able to go and take back Mark? You really felt like you were able to pull him in?
Yeah, on the longer run, the truck was better, much better on the longer run, not so much the short run. But that last run right there, the truck was kind of off a little bit, real slick. I was starting to lose it, so I had to watch what I was doing. I was trying the low line to see what I could do to get by him, and it just wasn't working. I didn't have the momentum carried off the corners to get by the 29. He had the momentum on the upper lane, but definitely slick. And almost lost it a couple times, and as you've probably seen, I scraped that wall. So I kind of was pushing a little too hard, and I was trying to get the win, but just came up short.
Yeah, Kansas is a one-groove racetrack. It just makes it that much harder for you to get in alongside and carry that momentum off. Last question I had was, you won last week at Dover, and so did that change your perspective at all coming into this race, knowing you did not have to win in order to get in?
Well, it definitely relieves that pressure, that must-win to advance pressure, or maintain reasonable points to advance to the next round. That pressure was gone, but I didn't look at this race any differently. I come into the race as another race, trying to win the race or finish the best I can. And I fought hard. I was going for the win, and I was trying to get nothing less. But again, just came up short. Solid truck, fast truck, and I think if it wasn't for those cautions, the last caution, I think we would have had it. But that last caution bunched us up, and then we are where we are now.
Well, we would like to congratulate you on another straight top 2 finish after a win last week, a second place now. You're looking great going into Charlotte. Any shout-outs or any thanks you want to give for your wonderful run this week?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I got affiliate marketing going on my Facebook page, SimStar Motorsports, just marketing DeWalt tools, Amazon Echo, and Logitech products. So if you're interested, check those out. Got to thank the guys that put the series on, Jeff and Mark, and John Ottenbacher. Got to thank New Leader Highway and Waltz Beer Co. Them guys, they put this series on for us to run and give us this platform to race and be competitive and have fun doing it. So appreciate them guys. Having a lot of fun out here. Looking forward to next week. Charlotte's going to be a good one. So thanks to you guys up there in the booth, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you so much, Chris. Number 35 Toyota Tundra coming home second tonight at Kansas.
All right, and they're going to pull Jeff real fast. Jeff, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Charles.
Oh, just real fast, so we didn't get to ask you. Obviously, we know you got some sponsors on there. Quick shout out to those before we get to the race winner here, your teammate.
Yeah. Well, first of all, congrats to my teammate, and a big shout out to my shout out to our sponsors. MaxSpeedTV is the sponsor tonight, so big thanks on that and doing sponsoring there. Series sponsor Walls Beard Co. Sponsored the entire series. This would not be happening without them. So, got a beard, or even if you don't have a beard and know somebody that does, go to www.wallsbeardco. Highly recommend the vanilla. I've been using that one lately. That's the latest scent, man. I smell it all day. That stuff smells.
Again, there we
Walls
go.
Beard Co. on the truck. New leader too.
And Jeff still having some mic issues, but it was giving a shout out to, of course, new leader Highway and Walls Beard Co. Hopefully we'll figure out what is going on. Something is definitely awry with your mic here. Is just started here recently, so he was thanking all those great sponsors. So fortunate for that, as it is cutting out again. It's not cutting out here. In winning this race, of course, was your race winner, the 29 of Mark Walls. So Mark, you put it in the victory lane. You lock yourself into the chase via that win. So you got that monkey off your back, a little bit of relaxation going to be going on. How does it feel to know you can kind of relax a little bit going into next week?
Oh, man, you know what? It feels good to know that we're going to go into Charlotte with that new leader, number 29 Chevy Silverado, coming off a win. I mean, that's huge. It locks us in, and it pressures off, but at the same time, we want to go out and get another one.
Well, it definitely always good to go out and get a second win. You were close there. I really think that Chris White may have had something for you there. He got into the outside wall, so getting into that wall really helped you. Had he not got into that outside wall there with about 4 laps to go, do you think this race would have been a little bit closer?
If I moved up off of the high line, it would have. That's the key here. There's no speed low. It seems like there is, when you get into the corner, but coming up off the corner, you're nowhere to be found. The guy's way ahead of you, so keeping that high line, keeping that momentum. But that truck never got to see the first half of the race. On lap 6, we took on pretty extensive damage and went a good run with some beat arrow until we finally got down pit road and got to fix it up. And once we took the damage away from that thing, it was just a rocket ship.
It was indeed. So you bring home the win tonight. Overall, a good night for you. You lock yourself again into the chase via that win, of course, as we just mentioned. But it's a little late here for some people. We know some of y'all got to get to work in the morning, so we don't want to keep y'all here too terribly late. But, of course, any sponsor shout-outs you want to give before we get to your unofficial race results here tonight?
Of course, we got to thank MaxSpeedTV. This is the MaxSpeedTV 165. First time on board for the season, taking a race for us. This is huge to get it in victory lane. And we got to thank New Leader, one of the exclusive brands to Highway Equipment Company, for being on board, putting that Silverado back in victory lane for them. So hopefully they're out watching. Always good to see them getting the love they need. And Walls Beard Co. Guys, check it out. If you got a beard and you don't use beard balm, your beard has a ponytail. WallsBeardCo.com. The best beard balm around. Make that thing look good, thicken up, shine, and stay in control.
Well,
that's it.
And of course, that can't be it. You got to give a shout out to your number 1 fan out there watching tonight as well. You put it in victory lane for her.
That's right. I got to thank my daughter. She was a trooper and was laying down watching this thing on her iPad. She wanted to see Dad race and came on for a little bit on the radio and got to see it in Victory Lane.
Well, she did indeed. You had your fan out there watching and brought it to victory lane. So congrats on that. But that being said, we're going to let you go celebrate some more. And we are going to move on to your unofficial race results. Again, these barring any race control issues. Coming away with the win, of course, was the 29 of Mark Walls. Second place will be the 35 of Chris White. Third place will be the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. Fourth place will be the 53 of Carl Burke. And rounding out your top 5 here tonight will be the 89 of John Ottenbacher, working his way back up. Sixth place will go to the 17 of Ryan Maines. Seventh place will go to the 12 of Jason Hunt. Eighth place will go to the 10 of Andy Vogt. Ninth place will go to the 61 of Gerald Heffley. And 10th place will go to the 427 of Brandon Weinberg. 11th place will go to the 77 of Frank Harris. 12th place, the 49 of Doug Hunt. 13th will be the 46 of Sean Breitzman, having not the best run he wanted here tonight, so we'll see what happens going into next week for him. 14th will be the 9 of Tom Green. 15th will be the 07 of Dana Rogers. 16th will be the 33 of Josh Coley. First race here tonight, running very good, and then just got into the wall, and that pretty much ended his night here. And in 17th, rounding out your field, is going to be the 18 of Brad Cornell. That will do it here for your results. We want to thank all the sponsors, of course, that are here for the race, bringing you this race. Of course, on the MaxSpeedTV side of things, Walls Beard Co. As you just talked to Mark Walls, the owner of Walls Beard Co. If you have a beard, you need to make it healthy and thick, so make sure you check out wallsbeardco.com. SimSpeedShop.com. If you are an iRacer, you're going to need a button box and you're going to need an e-brake if you do some rally car racing, so make sure you check them out at SimSpeedShop.com. Northwest Racing Series, they are the official one-to-go sponsor, so when that white flag is waving, their name is all over it, as they are the official sponsor here for One Lap to Go. Elite 7 Racing, they are the official dirt team of MaxSpeedTV. Check them out at elite7racing.com for all the latest information. Ohio IndyCar League, again, if you like some IndyCar racing, check them out on iRacing. Look up Ohio IndyCar League, no longer just taking Ohio club members. You can also look up their information on facebook.com/Ohio IndyCar League. iBog, iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, your sim race broadcast graphics source. You can contact Jason Allison at ibog.co if you are looking to get into broadcasting or just need some overlays done up for your stream, whatever it happens to be. For iRacing, he can take care of you. And coming on board here just tonight, that is the Hershey Design Company. Again, making wraps for you here on iRacing. Make sure you check them out if you need a awesome looking paint job here for iRacing for whatever car it may be. Make sure you hit them up on Facebook and they can take care of you. To the sponsors for this race, of course, and this series, Walls Beard Co. Once again, they are the presenting sponsor for this series. So again, make sure you check them out at wallsbeardco.com. Highway Equipment Company. They have two divisions. One of them is New Leader. As you saw some onboard cameras with them here tonight, you can check them out at highwayequipment.com. And the other one that can also be found at highwayequipment.com, that is New Leader. So, New Leader Highway, sorry. New Leader was the last one. Highway is the name of that division as well, you might say. So make sure you check out Highway and New Leader at highwayequipment.com. So again, on behalf of MaxSpeedTV, and of course on behalf of the Northwest Truck Series and the Northwest Racing Series in general, have a safe night, and we will see all of you at the next race. That will be next Thursday night for this series, and the Laura Truck Series is Saturday, and SRA Truck Series on Sunday. So have a safe night, and we'll see you at the next broadcast.